Okay, so this is an example of how to do a dichotomous key. And this is kind of like the question on the lab quiz over phylogeny and dichotomous keys. So let's say that we want to identify this organism right here. We want to identify this guy. What is he? So the first thing we do is read the descriptions for one. It says he has a green colored body. That would be a no, right? So we ignore that one. And the other one, it says he has a purple colored body. Yes. So we go to 4. So we're going to go down to 4. It says has a pointy hump. Nope, no pointy hump. That would be a no. Does not have a pointy hump. A pointy hump. Go to 5. And so, yes, we're going to go to 5, right? The first one says, has ears? Yes, he does have ears. So this guy is a Dirus purplinus. And so we have used the dichotomous key to identify this organism as a Dirus purplinus. And notice that we write this like we would write the scientific name of an organism. So we always capitalize the first letter of the genus name, and the species name is always lowercase. So that's how you do a dichotomous key. Let's move on to a cladogram or a phylogeny. And so here are our species or our organisms of interest. We have a lamprey, a sea bass, an antelope, a bald eagle, and an alligator. And so, for example, what if I wanted to know which of those species have lungs? Which ones have lungs? Well, the lungs showed up at this point right here. This is where the lungs showed up. Any species that appeared before that, or any organism that appeared before that, would not have lungs. All the species that occur after this, lungs. They have lungs. So if I wanted to know which species have lungs, I would just look at all the species that occurred in time after this point where lungs appeared. So my answer would be antelope, bald eagle, and alligator. All 3 of those have lungs. Okay? And so what if I want to know which species do not have gizzards? So we need to remember that time increases in this direction, right? So which species do not have gizzards? Well, gizzards appeared here, so that means that any species that appeared before the appearance of the gizzard would not have gizzards. And so that would be the lamprey, the sea bass, and the antelope, right? These 2, the bald eagle and the alligator, would be the only ones with gizzards. Okay, so that's kind of how you interpret a cladogram. So let's go on to the phylogenetic trees. And it's important when we look at phylogenetic trees that we look at the tips of the branches. So this would be a branch. This is a branch. This is a branch. This is a branch, right? And so we need to look at the tips of the branches. These are the species of interest. These are the species that we're interested in. And if we look at this tree, we could say, so which species are most closely related. And we can see because we have these sister species here that have a common ancestor at this node, right? These are called nodes where the tree branches. So we have a common ancestor here for A and B. The common ancestor for B and C would be down here, further back. And same thing for A. This would be the common ancestor for species A, B, and C. So it should be obvious that species A and B are the species that are most closely related. So this node would be the common ancestor of A, B, and C. This node would represent the common ancestor of just A and B. So that's kind of how you look at phylogenetic trees.